everybody. In this episode of Box Office Breakdown, incredibly, Incredibles 2 takes the top of the box office. Tag is not it. And Hereditary takes a steep jump out of the top 5. Get your arms loaded, because we're going to duke it out next on Box Office Breakdown.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Hey, everybody. Oh, look at that. Oh. The audience. Thank you, everybody. Yes, thank you.
Some sort of innovation.
Yes. Understandably so, because these three titans I talk right here. Welcome, everybody, to Box Office Breakdown. Of course, this is the show where we look back at the box office that was, and then we like to.
What? That was what I typed. Yay!
Okay.
About the box office at the lie ahead, I'm Frank Moran.
I'm Kari Lane.
I'm Amy Cassandra Martinez.
I'm Neil Plumley.
And, of course, making us look great and sound even better.
It's me. It's Tony. I'm
Right
in the
there.
booth. You don't see me.
He's in the booth, everybody.
The Invisible Man.
And, of course, folks, like us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And, of course, give it a thumbs up while you're there. Or 2 thumbs up, 3, 4, however many thumbs you can fit.
Yay!
And, of course, we're into the chat up and running, so feel free to
Yes.
hop in, share your thoughts about anything we're talking about or just movies in general. But, Carrie, if they're watching after their show stream live, what can they do?
You guys can comment down below.
Oh, beautiful.
And a lot of you are talking already. Yay!
That's what we like. So we're going to jump into 2 as well. Our top 5 for this week. Coming in at number 1, should be no surprise, Incredibles 2 from Disney. Made $180 million.
Let me say, Frank,
yes.
it's not a surprise that it's number 1. It's a surprise by how much. I did not expect this at all.
Why is that?
Because I didn't think it would make this much money.
Because we were all off by 100 million.
Very true.
Yours truly did vote the highest, just saying.
We're off by about like 90 to like, I think Carrie's closest by being off by like 85 million
Just a little bit.
dollars.
A lot.
I think because I feel like we've been, and I think it's kind of proven out that anytime that there's been a sequel, especially to a long dormant franchise, that the initial box office weekend has not been that high.
Okay.
This, though...
Especially this, with the current climate we've been having with box office numbers.
Yeah.
It's been like a really low summer, especially for like a lot of big blockbusters that should have done better than they did. It was very surprising to see this.
Well, something we didn't factor in. It's a movie that features the dad. It's Father's Day weekend. I was like, oh. So you got all the families, any parent-child stuff. I was like, oh, yes. But that makes sense of like a more of a drive for the family to go. And family movies always do well because you get not just one, but you all get at least 2 people going, parent and child, and maybe your family, your 2.5 children going. So that's more people going. And then, it's Father's Day weekend and graduation weekend. So you have a lot of people together, maybe families in town. Hey, let's all go to the movies.
I always feel bad for those 0.5, so because they end up having to share a seat with
baby.
somebody else.
Maybe that's what it means,
Just that half child, just right there. All right, who saw Incredibles 2?
I.
Oh, excellent. Let's go with Kari Lane first.
I didn't see it.
I know, just kidding.
I was going to, but all the seats. No, I was looking at the chat, and I'm excited that you all are talking in there. I wanted to, but the seats were pretty much full at every show I wanted to go to, or they'd be like front row. So I was all, I will see it next weekend then. I was okay to wait. I really do want to see it, but it was one of those, I'm not going to sacrifice a good seat for seeing it immediately.
All right, before we jump into it, I just bring that up. Is there any movie that any of you would see that you would go to a front row seat if that was the only seat available?
Infinity War, yes.
Yeah.
No, I would not do
I
that
would
to
just-
myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, because I knew I would have known that I was going to see it more than one time.
Yeah.
Get different views on it.
Well, okay, that's one of those things that I think, like, when I was a little kid, I sat in the very front row with my brother. Like, you felt like you were in the movie, but you're also, like, 10, so you don't mind being like, oh, my gosh. And then as, like, by high school, it's, like, a bit back more, and now I generally want, like, there we go, seat preference. There's a question for all of you. Please comment down below. What are your seat preferences? I like middle in a theater, like, middle back and middle, like, if it's choose your own seat, I will literally, like,
Oh, yeah.
okay, that's the middle.
So we have this masochist in the chat, Harry Kowalchuk. He says, I love the front row seats.
All right.
I just don't get that at all. But good. I mean, kudos. I guess.
Yeah.
Got a wide field of vision there, buddy.
Oh, he says
Yeah.
because of the field of view, it makes everything look bigger.
Yeah, no, but I get that.
Yes,
but I
it
feel
does.
like it strains me too much now that I won't do it. What? See preference, Amy.
Well, see, I mean, yeah, middle.
If you get a
middle.
choice, middle.
middle, and I sit middle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Incredibles too. I saw it second row, kind of off to the side.
Okay.
I was a little sad, but I was like, I'm gonna see it today. It's gonna
Sure.
happen, and as long as it's not the first, like the front row,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Yeah, I saw it second row too.
my
Close,
God.
close to the middle.
Oh,
But it was one of those recliner seats, so it was fine.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
That does help.
was able to
Exactly.
lean
That
back and be
does
like, oh,
help.
all right,
Lean
cool.
back.
Yeah.
That's
Most
fine.
of the chat agrees with us. Middle seats. Frank, what about you?
It depends on how packed the movie theater is.
Yeah.
If it's
but if you get optimal choice, you can pick
optimal
whatever.
choice, more often than I will just pick the side.
Side.
Yeah, right by the
really?
stairs. Yeah,
Do you like that so you
So you
can
can
get up and get down easier?
yeah. It's just easy for me to get the heck out of there.
Sure.
You know.
Okay.
Doesn't sorry, real quick. Doesn't the lights bother you at all?
Yeah,
Frank?
that's a good point.
From the lights from
staircase?
the
No.
stairs.
No, not really. No.
Yeah.
There's plenty of light coming from the front
Oh, I feel you.
at your face.
There you go.
Well, John in the chat agrees. He's I'm an aisle man. Only movies I went for front row were Dark Knight and Sausage Party. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
But
yes.
a thing sitting further back, Harry in the chat makes a good point. When you sit too back, it's like watching a movie in a home theater. True. It depends on the theater. Theater by me has some really small ones, so almost sitting in the back row is fine because I like being. Here's another specific and really specific other movies. I like being level with my movie. I don't want to look up or look down. If I can, I'd rather be like this. Like if I have to feel my head up looking at it or down is uncomfortable.
I'm cool with it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then recliner seats changes it up a bit too.
Yep.
The place that I go every single time that I can, like if they don't have it, then I go to another theater. But my theater that I usually go to, recliner seats.
Oh,
And
recliner all the way.
Yes, but I kind of get annoyed because when you go to another theater that doesn't have recliners, you're like, this is so cheap.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
come on, it's
Yeah,
just uncomfortable. You spoil me, guys. You spoil me.
They do.
All right. So Incredibles 2 Incredibles 2
Getting
thoughts.
into that.
Amy,
Yes,
what'd you think?
I thought it was incredible. Really did.
Nice.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, I was a fan of The Incredibles, not as hardcore as I know some people were. And you know, the possibility of having a sequel was nice. It was exciting. Waiting that long for it made me more excited about it. But I think they did such a good job. I think this is probably the best sequel I've ever seen in animation. Yeah.
Rescuers Down Under too.
Which one?
Oof,
Rescuers
that
Down
is a good
Under.
one.
Because the first one's actually not that great because the animation's kind of bad. Let's be honest.
The first one is that great because of the crocodiles.
It's a what?
Or the alligators.
But that
I mean,
opening,
it's still a good
Alligators.
movie, but the animation's not as good. And then, you know.
the opening sequence in Rescuers Down Under is it's so phenomenal.
Anyway,
Down
sorry,
Under.
continue.
Yeah, and there's something about the plot, like, that it makes sense. They didn't try to do things that weren't gonna work. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's the logical next thing to do, but it's also like, oh, what's gonna happen? So it wasn't super predictable, but it wasn't really like out of left field, kind of. And I mean, everyone just brought it. All of these characters were just like the same, but better and more into who they really are as the characters. The music was fantastic, and yeah, I love the idea of having Elastigirl take center stage in a way, and yeah, super powerful, I would say. And also makes me curious, like how many cosplays we're gonna see of The Incredibles
Oh,
this year, you know.
Comic-Con's
San Diego
coming
Comic-Con.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Neil, how about yourself?
I thought it was great. I had a fantastic time at the movies. A little bit of what Amy was saying, because it will almost opposite. You saying you got more excited as the years went on, waiting for a sequel. I actually got less excited because I was afraid that I was going to get my hopes up too high. So like each year that went by, and they're like, "Oh, we want an incredible sequel." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so. We want an incredible sequel, but it's not going to be good." And I think that played a pretty large part in me having such a good time in the movies today, watching it. And yeah, I agree with you. I think Elastigirl at the front did really well. And yeah, they really didn't take a whole lot of risks, which was honestly pretty cool because what they did was they just doubled down on their characterizations that they already started. And since this takes place literally the moment the first one ends,
Oh, cool.
what's really cool about the end of the first one, what's very exciting about it and what people really loved is that everyone was in their element. You know,
Yeah.
Dash was like learning all the tricks that he could do, running really fast. So was Violet. She was discovering her powers. Elastigirl, we're finally seeing her in action, like becoming a parachute, becoming a boat. And there's like a lot of things that they could do that we didn't know they could do. And they're throwing out everything they had in like that final act. And that was so exciting. That's right where it picks up so that they're all kind of experienced in running circles around people, but also being able to like roll with the punches that they're being given. So whenever someone faces an opposition that's a little bit more difficult, you're like, wow, this is like real because we just saw them kicking so much ass earlier. This must be like a really tough thing. So it really helped with that because it made all the consequences and all the stakes a little bit higher because like we know that these people can handle themselves. And whenever they're struggling, you're like, oh God, that's a tough thing right there.
Did either of you rewatch the first one?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think it mattered?
No.
Okay.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, technically I saw it, but I didn't see the second one, so I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
I feel like I was much like you, well, Neil, except that I let myself build it up too much in my mind. So when I saw it, I kind of walked away like, that was fine. I feel like I should probably see it again now that I've got that first one out of my system.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not that it's, they took advantage of what you can do in animation where you can make no time pass at all, which is great. So you can pick up right off the first film and not lose a step.
Well, except for Dash. Dash is not the same voice.
Well, true.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's hardly noticeable.
Hardly, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Yeah, so, I have to admit, I thought like, oh, we had to wait another 14 years. I don't know if Craig T. Nelson would be around for that. Which then I wonder, would they do it?
Oh, well, then, yeah, the kid wouldn't sound the same. Duh.
Yeah. Yeah. Violet's the same. Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
she's a little
grown
easier.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was fun. I mean, it was great to see Frozone get some more focus as well, too.
A lot of screen time for Frozen, which is cool. And I really liked the endearing side to Edna that we saw. That
Yes.
was honestly a little heartwarming. I saw that and I was like, oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, I felt like, and I don't know if they're really deliberately trying to set it up as a lot of suspense, but it's, if you've seen any films, you're probably going to pick out who the bad guy is
Sure.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So when they do that reveal, you're like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
But I like how even like the first one in Syndrome, the villain from the first Incredibles, was very dangerous. He was like psychotic, and when he sees when Mr. Incredible is in that little cavern and he sees the bones of Gazer Beam down there, you're like, oh, this is for real. Like you're going to kill people until you get what you want. That was like a very high stakes villain, which I love. Makes the movie a whole lot better. Yeah. This was another very high stakes villain where it was like, no, for real, like you don't know what I can do, and like it's sort of like puppety master sort of thing.
Yeah.
Really like that.
They had a thing on Twitter that was like, he's the epitome of toxic fandom. And it's like, oh, you are right. Like, entitled, you're not the hero I thought you were. And just like, so whoever wrote that on Twitter, that was really spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, though some of the motivations for why the villain does what it does is, it's like, okay.
It's a little weak. Yeah.
I think they focus more on not so much the villain, but the family.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, each character and also the family as a whole instead of putting the main focus on the villain, which I liked a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the look of the style that they have for the film, it just makes it so timeless that you can still come by 14 years later and it does not seem like out of date or anything like that. It just seems really, they create a really cool environment for it.
I heard that they started off Incredibles 2 with the exact same animation, exact same quality as The Incredibles, and then slowly throughout the film they tweaked it a little bit to make it even more crisp. Yeah. If they did, I didn't really notice.
I thought
good
it was
way.
great stuff with Mr. Incredible. Just the way when it gets really haggard. Stuff, just some really nice animation
5 o'clock
work in
shadow.
Yes,
Yeah.
really nicely done on
Yeah.
that. And what I also like too is that it's while it doesn't have, I think maybe like the bloodthirstiness of the villain from the first one, but still, just the things that are discussed, especially with Mr. and Mrs. Incredible. Like as kids, you might not necessarily pick up on that, but it's kind of something that you definitely would grow with you. And as you got older and watch it, you would appreciate more and more stuff about that film, which is always, I think, a good sign of a good animation project.
Yep.
All right, so folks, that was our that was number one, and also the subject of our box office bet, which means what was Kari Lane? Were you our winner?
Yes.
Look at that!
Yay.
Hooray!
I'm gonna go see
And then
it,
we have all seen it. But Anthony, you did
Yeah.
not see it yet, correct?
No, I have yet to see it.
Oh, who was our loser, Neil?
I didn't.
That was
notice,
me.
Aha.
Oh, well, go see that movie, Neil.
0.5
I
over
did.
here.
I'll see it again.
Coming in number 2, Ocean's 8 made another $19.5 million.
I saw that one.
I saw that one.
Oh, yes?
Oh.
Had you seen it before?
No.
Oh, okay.
We were the only ones that hadn't seen it
Yay.
in the entire world.
And yep, that was it.
Yeah. No. Go.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun. I mean, it's not one of those like, oh my gosh, you have to see it right now kind of ones. But I thought and after your comment of like some of the planning or things went too easy, she points out that I've had this long to think it out and she's thought the scenario. So I was like, sure, I'm okay with that. I thought all the actors were great. They're very fun chemistry together. Everybody's like fun and quirky in their own way, and that was enjoyable to put them all together in different situations. Some really good funny moments in there for sure. The heist itself, like the planning into it, was very fun and entertaining. And yeah, the one-ish cameo, right? And yeah. Overall, like I thought it was gonna be fun, and that's exactly what it was. So I was not disappointed. I thought it was very enjoyable.
Amy?
I really liked it. I really, really did. I could have used more cameos. Like, come on. I mean,
From, what, the Ocean's 8's cast? Or just general cameos?
general.
Well, they had a lot of other random actors in there too, which was cool. Like just random people,
I wanted
like
more.
at the Met Gala. I thought that was
Oh,
fun.
them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
that was cool. That
hey.
was cool. But I
Yeah.
wanted actors.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted like Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna sound like a girl right now. I
Go
don't
for it.
really care. The wardrobe.
Yes.
Everything. Oh, I just really wanted to have that kind of money.
Yeah.
And then by the time they got to the heist, I was like, okay, wow, this is really interesting.
Oh,
how
when
you
they
guys
get their
did
gown
this.
moments, I was like, yay, you all look so beautiful.
And they're walking down.
They all get their walk down.
They're like, hello,
Everybody
slow
gets
motion
it.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, but like it's pretty thorough, at least from what I understood. That by the time it got to the heist, I was like, I really want to pay attention to this. Not that I would do anything like it, but I mean, heck, to dress like they do. Not even just the dresses.
Even doing their heists, they're like very fashionable.
Exactly. Like Kate Blanchett, her
look was really cool.
so cool. I love the leather, and I love
All the jewelry,
Yes,
the necklaces.
right?
Yes.
loved it. And yeah, I think the chemistry with all of them was really cool. Each one had certain talents that really helped pull the heist together, and I kind of wanted a little something at the end.
Yeah.
When
It kind of needs a little stronger button at the very
Yes.
end, but it was still, it's more the ride rather than the end kind of a
Exactly.
movie.
I would definitely. I'm going to get it on DVD and watch it. Like at least once.
Yeah.
One more time. It's really, really fun. I know you loved it, Frank. It's your
No,
favorite
I
movie.
can't-
It's
just-
a fun one.
I wanted it to be more fun. This was just... but you know,
It would be nice if it could have been a little more oomph, but as like a good, solid, like entertaining film to go see, I'm like, yeah. Was it amazing? No. But was it really cool and really fun? Yeah.
It was. I was really, really, really looking forward to it, and what I got was what I wanted, and even a little bit more. I would say, just because I hadn't seen Ocean's 11, and I knew what that felt like, and though I respect Ocean's 11's not my cup of tea, this one is.
Cool.
Frank, I know you agree.
we're gonna have to agree
I
to
liked
disagree.
Ocean's 11
Don't
back when I
care.
saw it, and I think I liked 12.
That's
I don't
cool.
think I saw 13. They're just different, it's fun.
I did not like 12.
I can't remember. I'm like, maybe.
I thought that is a movie that I've enjoyed watching it later. But like certainly the first time it came out, I'm like, what is going on with this movie? And it did drive me a little bonkers on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then once you kind of figure out what the hook of the film is, then you go back and you watch it again. It doesn't seem as bad. Still, the weakest of the three in that trilogy. Though. Coming to number 3, Tag from Warner Brothers and New Line. Made $14.6 million.
I saw that one.
I saw that as well. Who else?
Did you see
Anybody
it?
else?
No.
Okay.
Carrie,
This side.
what did you think?
I thought it was very fun.
Okay.
I went into Tag thinking, I'm like, this is going to be super stupid. I took my brother, and we were going to see Incredibles, but I'm like, it's packed. We're not going to go see it. So I'm like, let's see Tag. I'm like, it's probably going to be really dumb, but it was actually really funny. There are moments that are extremely over the top and, like, out there, but that's okay, because you're like, that's fine. It's the whole vibe. I thought John Hamm was great being comedic. Because, I mean, I love him in Mad Men, and he's great with being very debonair and, like, stoic. But Bridesmaid, I didn't like him being funny. It didn't work for me.
Role.
It was a weird role. But in this one, he's, like, a businessman who has a sense of humor. So I was like, yeah. And then how you kind of learn how it is a real thing, like, stay to the very end. Also, all the way through the credits, there's just something, it's just kind of dumb funny at the end. Through the credits, they have, like, a song thingy. That was very entertaining. Just the sentiment on, of them staying together and the idea of not growing up. Not necessarily you're growing older, but you're growing up. I thought that was really nice too. And yeah, just overall, I definitely would recommend it. Like, it's one of those, don't go with like super high expectations, but it's fun. It's definitely a fun movie. Frank?
I would disagree on all of
Oh,
that.
no. Yeah.
The premise is excellent, but the execution of the actual tag sequences is great.
Yeah. Oh, how they do that is so cool.
I thought that was really well realized, but
Yeah.
the story is lame. And
There's not much one there, but
and then
that's
by
not
the
the
end,
point.
Well, it is. You're supposed to try to invest in these characters.
You are. You
You're
care
not-
about them.
You do not care about any of
Yes,
those
you
characters.
do.
And then at the end, they try to do a little thing that makes you supposed to care about all of them at the end. And you're like, but we haven't cared about any of these guys. And now you want us to at the very end. They're just shellless, soulless people to the majority of the film. And then they give you that last little twist. They're like, but care about these folks. And no.
No.
That was, and I just feel like
I can see what you mean, though.
it is weird though that I don't know, but
I was like, don't spoil it. I know what you're talking about.
There-
Don't say it.
they just the real life story much more entertaining and probably would have been better.
What was
they
that?
show faithful.
Yeah, that's not really a spoiler. At the end, they show you real footage of them playing the game. The real people.
What?
At the very end, they show the real home videos of the people playing. Oh my gosh, that's almost worth too.
That's
like,
pretty cool.
It's because the movie like helps you end on such a high with seeing the real thing, and then there's like some weird, bizarre costumes in the movie that the real people did wear. So you're like, that's awesome that they really incorporated that.
But see, I rather would have watched a 2-hour movie of the original.
The real, like
people.
a documentary on them.
Yep, that would have been much more entertaining.
Well, I think
than
they have a
Documentaries.
documentary,
On Netflix.
Oh, I bet.
so you should watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, then there
I
you
don't know
go.
if it's on Netflix.
Go watch the documentary, folks.
Yeah.
Stay away from Tag. Let it come to you at home.
Ken
and
Jack
then-
in the chat says they really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And just watch the tag sequences, and then you can just skip to the
Well,
end.
how they film those are really fun, and they show you kind of in the trailer like the slow mo, but they go into that and the voiceover and break it down. It just makes it like kind of a action movie, which you weren't expecting, and just seeing them run around and play, just getting that great childish energy, Frank.
yeah, but you don't care about any of these people.
I did. I thought they were cute.
Really?
Yeah. Totally.
Did you like them before going in? Because you already liked John Hamm.
John Hamm, yeah.
Who doesn't
Jake
like John Hamm?
Johnson.
Jeremy Renner, I liked his comedy in it
Okay.
though. I didn't. I don't really know him as a comedic kind of guy, but I thought he did well.
Hannibal Buress is fun.
Is he the?
African American.
He's pretty funny, yeah. And then there's the pothead guy. That gag was a little old for me.
That's Jake Johnson.
And then the one who's
Ed
like
Helms.
him. I don't normally think he's that funny, but I thought he was funny. Yeah.
He doesn't do much for me. So anyway, good times, folks.
Harry in
Yay!
the chat says I hate Ed Helms. I feel he's very hit or miss. Like he's better in a group. Like there's a lot of actors that are
The
better in an
Office.
ensemble.
Way better than The Hangover.
Yeah.
Do-do-do.
But
No, The Office made me really dislike Ed Helms intensely.
That
and
does not
that's,
surprise me from you, though.
but just
It's
the way that
okay.
they wrote his character was insufferable on The Office, and he only got worse after Steve Carell left. Oh, just they made him the focal point of that show was the biggest mistake that series made in its remaining seasons. Cool, but we're not here to talk about my feelings about The Office. We're here to talk about films. Solo, a Star Wars story, came in at number 4. Another a little over $9 million. Neil, you still feeling the same way about the Star Wars franchise?
What?
In terms of
And what are you referencing?
and just in terms of Solo's box office results and perhaps the future of the Star Wars franchise.
Oh, yeah. I think we're fine.
All right.
I still think that it's going to be more like summer heavy for Star Wars. I think they actually said that they're switching to summer releases for their movies.
Totally random, but based on our comments of some previous video, you were saying your full honest opinion of how you think the Star Wars numbers were, right? Because someone's like, oh, we're not being honest on what we think of it because being guided on our thoughts. But I'm like, no, that's what you thought of it.
No,
So,
I don't know who.
you people
I don't know who
who are
guide.
watching, I don't know what you're
barely
talking about.
Guide my own thoughts.
Yeah.
But no, it's my 100% opinion. I think the Star Wars is fine. I just think
Yeah.
we're switching to summer, and summer has less money to go around because it's
Yes.
more saturated.
Oh, and
But
somebody
there's
from
less Avatar.
by our Lucasfilm representative that just came in. Sit down, Neil, get to you to get that check afterwards. That's fine.
I just thought that was an interesting comment. It was on
Kathleen
our last
Kennedy
video,
money.
and I'm like, not
Coming
giving
in.
an honest what? No, everything is our own honest opinions on it.
Sponsored by Disney.
Hey,
Just
stop.
kidding. We're not.
No, come on, we do our Movie Pass, not sponsored.
Hey.
My opinions are always for sale. So please come buy me out. I beg of you.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Positive Thoughts.
Oh,
That's
Sky
right.
Patterson says that he thinks Star Wars should say in December, not summer. I agree, dude. But like I said last week, I think everyone's getting out of the way for
Yeah.
James Cameron's Avatar,
Yeah.
which I don't blame them.
And then the Harry in the chat says Star Wars is not fine, and then
Yes, it
Vailnid
is Harry in the
said
chat.
100 million plus loss for Star Wars sounds great to me, and I feel they're saying that with sarcasm. I think Disney can handle that. They don't care.
I think they're
They can
fine.
handle
They're
a
like
lot more.
Nintendo.
Yeah, they
they
can
can
handle
hemorrhage
way
money for
more.
the next 84 years and be fine.
Yes.
They'll be fine.
Also, we're just talking about box office numbers, not toy sales.
Or fandom.
Yes.
Fandom's
So
weird.
T-shirts, merchandise.
that's where Star Wars has always
Wars
made most
Land.
of its money, which is ridiculous because it's also made a ton of money in box offices.
Yeah.
But even though like episode 2 made like very little money at all, it made so much in toys.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you need to remember the franchise.
Yes.
And running on our top 5, Deadpool 2 with another $8.8 million to the total there.
Good for him.
Yeah, sure was.
Yeah.
Now we also have something coming up. Of course, we had Incredibles 2 as the subject of last week's box office bet. We've got one film vying for your box office bet this coming weekend, and that is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
The Kingdom has
Have to.
fallen. Call
Yes.
Gerard Butler.
Do we have to?
That is. I have seen this film already.
What?
Ooh.
Can you
allowed
say
to share,
anything?
or you-
Oh, I can tell you,
Oh.
it's not good. But if they want to continue this franchise, this is a very much a transition film to
Okay.
get them from where the films have been set previously to maybe open up and expand the world. It's a shame that it couldn't have been executed better. But if you go in thinking like, all right, well, this is just a film that's going to get us from point A to point C, and let's see what
That's
we can open
fine.
up. Yeah. But
So would you say chronologically it's kind of like the Fast and Furious movies right now? Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom? Sort of like trying to switch the whole game up? Now the dinosaurs are going to be international spies?
That's right. Yeah, that's true. It's and no matter how much Jeff Goldblum that you want in this film, you will come away disappointed.
I feel that way. I feel that way that with movies that show off Jeff Goldblum in the trailer, I'm like, well, that's going to be a letdown. You just shouldn't have showed me him in the trailer.
No,
if he was
that's
just
true.
in the movie, I'd be like, dope.
That's true. I would not have been disappointed. But then, this way you walk away. Like, all right.
I feel
that's
like
it.
I don't want you to give me a hint either way, but I want to tell you my opinion.
Tell me.
I feel like he's just in that one scene, and that's it.
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
I won't say
I'm pretty damn sure.
to confirm or deny your
Well, that
thoughts.
was also
Neil.
a problem
What
with
is he
Solo.
gonna
People
do?
wanted more.
Jeff Goldblum in there,
Kinda
and there
read.
was not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, they
I
wanted
know.
more Lando
Yes,
Calrissian.
they wanted more Lando, and they're like, nope.
He was all right.
I mean, he's in it enough, but they wanted more. And
I wanted
if you
more,
look at it
yeah.
and just like I liked what parts he was in, but then people are like, he's so good, he should be in more, but I don't know.
We'll get
But
his film.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you... I can't even say it's worth seeing in the theater.
Matinee?
I don't know. There's nothing in there that you... Trust me, if you waited until, a discount theater or for it to come out on... home video. I want to say home video. I don't want to say, but
Home video.
Yeah, home video. Come on, home video. Why are you saying that?
Coming soon to home video.
And now your feature presentation.
I feel like
Good time.
let it come to you because there's absolutely zero rush or impetus to go see this film in the theater.
So this is more like a catch-up weekend then, pretty much. Like,
Oh, there you go.
Catch up on all the other
Go
movies
see
you haven't
Incredibles
seen.
2,
Yes.
because the other ones were full.
Yeah.
But of course, so we'll do that. We'll place our bets. What we think Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom will do. Don't worry, folks. Colin Trevorrow will be coming back to direct the third film.
Good.
Thank
I
goodness.
was worried.
That was.
Superfly.
Praise be.
Random side movie that came out last weekend we didn't talk about was Superfly.
Did you see it?
I did not, but I noticed that people pointed that out on Twitter.
I think it had a Wednesday release.
Yeah. So if you saw Superfly, leave comments down below. Did you like it or not? And if you saw it in the chat, please chime in.
Honestly,
Was
I
it-
heard that movie was atrocious.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
was it fly or was it a fail?
Was it fly or was it nah?
Now, before we do our top 5 for next week, we're going to do a little box office rewind. Love it.
That was actually timed really well.
I was
Nicely
like,
done,
dang,
man.
We
Neil, that was
practiced it
amazing.
beforehand.
Yes. He's like, I'm going to give you a visual cue.
We had some time.
That's true. Well, we look back at somebody that's been involved in one of the films. Of course, Jurassic World is the only film coming out this week. But instead of doing an actor, I thought we'd do a composer.
Yay!
I love
right.
that. I love
Nice.
this composer.
Michael Giacchino.
Giacchino.
Giacchino? Look
He
at
also
you.
just
Michael
did
Giacchino.
this past week's movie.
Incredibles 2.
Fun fact that is relevant to what we're talking about. I spoke with him on the carpet of Incredibles 2.
Wow.
Yay.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, you'll have to watch the interview.
Oh.
Yes,
I'm
it's on
tuning in.
BHL. BHL's YouTube page, and yeah, he's fantastic, super sweet, very nicely dressed as well. He had a nice little Incredibles pin.
Oh, it's probably because he makes millions of dollars a year.
Yes,
It's easy to be well dressed if you're making $1 million.
for sure.
That's true.
In like back end money. That's not even his paychecks.
Coming in number 5 for Michael, we have got Inside Out, a Pixar film coming out from 2015.
Good.
Bing bong.
No,
$90.4 million.
Bing bong,
Oh,
guys.
just thinking about him makes me sad.
He took that dive. He
It's
had
Spoiler
to
alert.
take that dive.
He did it. He did it.
That was a good movie.
Also coming out, Jody in the chat points out my theater is getting Won't You Be My Neighbor next weekend. I want to see that documentary.
That's still in limited release, I believe.
Okay. Thank you for reminding us about that one. Yes.
Number 4, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
117 million. I liked his reinterpretation of the Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yes.
A bold move, but
but-
it worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And just seeing the just some of the snippets before the film came out, wondering where that was going to fall in the film, and it felt like it came in the perfect place for it.
That's pretty cool. I didn't notice that the first time because I'm me, but I gotta go watch that now.
Number 3, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. That made 155 million back in 2016.
Yeah, this man's super rich, by
Yeah.
the way.
Number 2 was Incredibles 2 with 180 million. And then number 1 was Jurassic World with a little over $208 million.
None
That
of
movie made so much money.
Can I just share
So
with
much
you like my personal favorite all-time Michael Giacchino score
Yeah.
is The Married Life in Up
Yes,
with the credits at the end. Oh
That-
my God.
that's actually one of the things that I fangirled with him about. And I did ask him, what is the strangest place he's ever got an idea for a melody? And he told me, and I'm not going to tell you.
What?
No, seriously,
You
it's
are
cool.
living clickbait.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
What's your shirt say?
Find me on Instagram. That's
Oh,
what my
boy.
shirt says. Podcast listeners, you're welcome.
Nice.
I actually enjoyed what he did with the Star Trek films as well too. Like his theme for that. That was a nice reinvention, given like everything
It
we
was.
saw from James Horner and all those folks. All right, folks, we're gonna do our top 5 for this week. Of course, we're only adding Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom into the mix. Given the success of The Incredibles, do you see this being dethroned by Jurassic World?
No.
Yeah.
You think so? I mean, certainly Jurassic World is Fallen Kingdom is doing incredibly well internationally, but that doesn't necessarily translate to tons of box office here in the States. Do you think it does, Neil?
I think it does.
More so than what Incredibles 2 could do in its second week?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Because if we're looking at like maybe even, to be generous, like a 40% drop for Incredibles 2, we're still looking at maybe like 98 million. And I'm pretty sure Jurassic World will beat that.
But how excited are
least by a
people about the
little bit.
next Jurassic? Oh, here, yeah, Jurassic World opened 208. But how
the-
much do people
it was
love that they're
huge.
excited about the next one, though?
Because I feel like well, true. I mean, we're gonna have that drop off from Incredibles 2, but I feel like that 14-year gap only feeds the anticipation. We've already had our hit 3 years ago with Jurassic Park / World.
Right.
Does that diminish, or do you still see it doing like 125 or so, as people are predicting?
Well, I do see that The Incredibles is more of a refreshing movie because we haven't had something like it in quite some time. Where, like you're saying, Jurassic World came out 3 years ago. They might be having a little little dinosaur fatigue set in. There's all sorts of fatigue these days. This one is dinosaur fatigue. Check your claws at the door. And I think, I don't know. I still think it could do better than like 110. And that's all it kind of has to do if it wants to beat Incredibles 2.
That rhymes.
Could anybody else believe that Incredibles 2 can still hold on to the top spot?
Yes.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I feel that.
I given my feelings on the film, I would love to see Jurassic World come in at number 2.
Wait, you have
Okay.
feelings?
They're cold, emotionless,
They're
dead
all
feelings.
negative.
They're all about money.
Yes, that's true. Anybody else see any mix-ups in 3, 4, and 5?
Let's see. I'm looking.
No.
I'm all gonna be inspired by the chat. We got Courtney says Jurassic World, Incredibles, Ocean's 8, Deadpool, then Tag.
I think Deadpool will go to number 4 and switch with Solo.
Zayas Bilou says Jurassic World, Incredibles, Oceans, Deadpool, then Tag. And then somebody else said one too. That was, Ken Jack says Jurassic World, Incredibles, Oceans, Tag, Deadpool. Yeah, I go with Incredibles, Jurassic, Ocean's 8, Tag, and is Deadpool gonna beat Solo? Sure, we'll bump that down and say Deadpool.
All right, I'll go with that as well too.
Yeah, that's what I think I got too.
All right.
No.
But wait, you guys said Jurassic. I said Incredibles, the number one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my number 1 is Jurassic
You would just
World.
swap Jurassic
Yeah.
World and Incredibles. Yeah. Okay.
I would swap Solo and Deadpool too.
Okay.
I
You
think
think
Solo's gonna
still-
hang.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Interesting.
Sound like puppies.
We're little animals.
All right, folks.
Oh,
we're
we're porgs.
We're gonna wrap up
Those
the show with our box office bet. Of course,
There's
usually,
only one to vote
yes,
for.
You lovely folks in the chat get a bet on place your votes for what we should bet on. Of course, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom will be the only film that we're going to be betting on this week. So we'll all place our bets. Whoever gets closest will get the title of prognosticator or prognosticators. The loser will have to go see this film.
Honestly, this movie feels like a chore. It already feels like going to watch a chore.
Well, it's interesting too, and anybody chime in and leave comments. Their first round of trailers, I'm like, dude, what's this movie even gonna be about? The island and what? This is stressful. I don't like watching those dinosaurs die. And then brand new trailers. By the way, this is exactly what happens. And I was like,
Yeah.
why?
I don't like the marketing at all for this
Oh,
movie.
it was bad.
I just like
All the trailers have like 3 endings, and to like the trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta pick a moment
Yes.
to stop on and stop being like,
Yeah.
and here,
Yep.
and here. I'm like, just stop it. Just stop the trailer.
Yeah.
That's of course, no spoilers, but there's something introduced in this film that you're like, huh, what? And it just is never addressed. So you're
Is it weirder than the Jurassic Park reimagining concept they want to do before Jurassic World, where they basically make DNA hybrids between soldiers, like
Yeah,
living
that's right.
soldiers and dinosaurs?
there you go.
Because that was
Whoa.
the actual movie that was going to get made, And I was like, well, sign me out.
Sounds like they jumped the raptor
that.
on that one.
That's. I mean, they just want to keep writing to the point where they can have dinosaurs and humans hanging out, fighting crime together.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
what they want to have happen.
I want my
I was
gay
like, I feel there is a
stepdad
movie with
Brontosaurus TV show.
Yeah. I feel there was some like 90s movie where a kid does go and interacts with dinosaurs, but I'm gonna think about it.
We're
Well,
back
you
at
do get to see the
dinosaurs?
Very
first
cheesy something.
human
Dinosaur
dinosaur
dude.
love scene in this. Oh, I've said too much.
Oh,
What?
Splice? What?
Stop.
Hell, Splice, no.
That movie.
If you guys haven't seen Chris Pratt's Instagram stories, you should.
Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Why?
Chris Pratt?
Pratt.
Chris Pratt?
Why? Are you
All right,
such a
I got
hater?
my number. But also,
yes.
a little side note in the chat. Nella J, it was her birthday this previous.
Happy birthday. We love birthdays.
Neil's gonna do what he always does to anybody that has a birthday around him. Is that he's going to tell them what their birthday wish is.
Your birthday wish is whatever you want it to be.
Yay!
Because you
Lovely.
control your destiny.
Look at that.
Ooh.
Damn.
You're gonna love turnips. That's my wish for you this year. That's right. This is that year.
Like the turnip or like the fruit turnip?
Yeah, you're gonna love turnips now. This is it. This is
All
your year.
turnips.
Like people
Got
who
it.
just turn up at your parties?
Hey.
That's what I was
Just
thinking.
turnips.
They love the turnips.
Also, besides the well wishes of birthday, it's also Happy Father's Day for those fathers and father
Yes.
figures out there.
Neil is the father figure of the show.
Was that?
Neil is the father figure of the show.
It's true.
I was gonna say Happy
Everyone
Father's Day
go to
for
your
you.
rooms.
He's like,
And
stop.
watch a movie.
Go to your
Yes.
rooms and watch a movie.
Right.
Take some time for yourself.
All right, y'all ready for my number?
Ready?
Y'all ready for this?
Everybody else ready?
Yes.
Ready.
All right.
All right, I'm playing I'm playing it safe, guys. Not gonna lie.
Ugh.
100 million.
Oh, all right.
That's a safe. That's
okay.
yeah, right.
Very
okay.
safe, right? Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm a little close by, not as close as we all were last week because that was kind of ridiculous. I'm at 115.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
101.
92.
right.
What?
92.
I went low. I went 92.
I went 105.
Hey.
All right.
There you
So
go.
Carrie's at the end.
Yeah, I'm at the bottom on that one.
Neil's
And I'm at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like the sandwich in the middle.
All
I'm
right.
like a piece of ham.
A Tony sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, all right.
Or turkey.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Or
that's going to
turkey.
do it for this more abbreviated
It just
episode of
about
Box
did
Office
it.
Breakdown. But don't worry. Just because we're taking a pause from talking about films at the moment doesn't mean that we won't be talking about it on social media or amongst ourselves, or we'll call each other up. We'll just talk about movies real quick.
We do it all the time.
Absolutely.
time.
The
Oh,
privacy
yep.
of our own homes.
That's
Yes.
true. Yep. We're always FaceTiming each other like movies, yes.
Yes.
But folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for hopping in the chat. As always, like us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. While you're there, give it a thumbs up. 2 or 3 or 4, however many you can. And if they're watching this after it's streamed live, what can they do?
You can comment down below.
Oh, there you go. And Carrie's given you many things to comment on during the course of the
Yeah.
show. So comment on any of the things that she may have mentioned. And if you want to get in touch with us anywhere after the show's over on social media, Anthony, where can they find you, sir?
Ooh, I'm first. Yes, you can find me at TonyBTony_. It's on your screen right now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
I hope.
And
That's
tune in
nice.
tomorrow to see Tony, yours truly, and also Ollie Dreamer on Horror
Tuesday.
Tuesday. I always think today's, but anyway.
True.
You gotta plug our other show, dude. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. Horror Movie News on Tuesday at 4 p.m.
Yay.
Neil?
I'm only on this show, Frank. Box Office Breakdown. You can find me at places where people are found at the Neil Plumley. That's TheNeilPlumley, or here on Sundays at 9 for Box Office Breakdown.
That makes you rare.
That's right, because you deliver excellence. Yeah, so why do you need to do it multiple times? You deliver it right out of the gate.
It's true. I do deliver excellence.
That's true.
Right out the gate. Amy.
Well, I think I deliver excellence multiple times during the week because it's not a question. So you guys can find me on Marvel TV Weekly, Marvel Movie News, Netflix Picks, and of course Box Office Breakdown. Just go ahead and follow me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ and find me
Nailed
on
it.
Instagram.
Double nailed it.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
if we're going
Thank you.
All right, since we're in that direction. My name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. You can see me Sundays on The Expanse, Westworld finale next weekend, Box Office Breakdown, and Marvel TV Weekly. This lady and also Kristian, DMZ. And Monday we have Handmaid's Tale. Tuesday, horror movie news, as well as anime, where we talk about Full Metal Alchemist. And Wednesday, Legion's done. So go watch that finale if you haven't watched it yet.
Folks, find me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. You could watch me on other things, but why would you want to waste your time doing that when you could do other stuff?
Good point.
So, that's true. Absolutely. I deliver considerably less than excellence. So,
Except for on his Instagram, which you should follow because there's food.
Lots of food. Good food stuff, yes.
folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. We'll see you in 7 short days right here, back here in Popcorn Talk. Go see movies.
Goodbye.
Except
From
Jurassic
producers
World.
Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.